This is something out of a horror movie. It has been uncovered that at least 8 inmates in the Alabama prison system were found with their organs surgically removed after an inmate who had 1 year left died, and it took 2 months for them to alert the sister. And when she found out, she got the body. It was so badly beaten and decomposed that she was like, what the fuck happened? The warden said, oh, he had a fentanyl overdose. She said, wait, but he's got broken bones. He's got all fucked up. There's no way. He got the shit beat out of him. And he's not even a drug user. The warden said, hey, shit happens. They released the body. And she's like, why is it so decomposed? He really just couldn't say shit, just kind of skipped over the question. So, of course, like any family member, she goes to a private, place to get an autopsy. And the medical examiner says, listen, he was beaten. He did overdose on fentanyl. But what happened to his heart? She goes, what? Was he an organ donor or something? No, not at all. Oh, somebody surgically removed his heart. She immediately starts to investigate and starts talking to the warden. He says, nah, we release all the bodies to this place over here. It's a private school facility that takes organs from people dead or alive. And when they asked the school, the facility, they denied anything. The warden denied anything. He just said he sent them there to get examined. Now, the law is this. Anytime there is a suspicious death in Department of Corrections, they are to go to the state medical examiner, not a private facility, anything like that. So that's when people started realizing, wait, I had a family member that was so badly decomposed, and they said he died from a fentanyl overdose. And they started finding inmates that had no brains, no hearts, no lungs, no kidneys. So what was found out is that these sick, demonic, crooked piece of shits were getting certain inmates, beating the shit out of them, probably had the warden talk to a captain who talked to his little foot soldiers, his little minions, beat the shit out these inmates, shot them up with dope, somehow got them on the operating table. Now, they don't know if they took the organs while they were alive or dead, but at this point, it was obviously for money because they're greedy and sadistic motherfuckers. It wouldn't surprise me if they were alive when they did it. And then after they shoot them up with more dope and they die, they put them in the hot Alabama sun and they let them decompose to cover up all the scars from where they performed the surgery. They even had a 75-year-old man who was about to go home in 3 years, who died of natural causes, found without his brain, his kidneys, his liver, his heart, everything. And the law is, in the Department of Corrections, if someone dies of a natural cause, they don't go for further examination. They get released to the family and that's that. But they put him in for a further examination by the private facility. The only time you do more of an investigation is if it's a suspicious death, a murder, a drug overdose, homicide, suicide, whatever it might be. And that's when things really kicked off. People were coming out of all different states saying that happened to my family member, this family member. And it is so fucking crazy to think you can go to prison, you survive the gangs, the fucking politics, the murders, the crooked CEOs, everything that goes on that side, and they kill you for your organs. And when it's found out and proven, the facility, the private school facility, they deny it. The warden just kind of says, oh, no, I don't know anything about that. And nothing happens. Imagine if you killed somebody, shot them up with drugs, beat them up, then shot them up with more drugs after taking their organs and selling them, and you got caught red-handed, and you just said, I don't know. Man, you'd be in prison for the rest of your life. That's why it's so dangerous in prison. It's so fucking treacherous. They get away with anything they want. Some people who've never been on the inside think that I might be exaggerating, but this is reality. This is what I live with. This is what I grew up with. I mean, it's to the point where they are killing inmates, taking their organs and getting away with it. And I don't give a fuck. We don't give a shit. What are you going to do about it? He overdosed. We don't know nothing about the surgically removed heart, brain, kidneys, liver. Imagine that. Imagine going to prison. You got 3 years to do, right, for some dumb shit, some nonviolent drug shit. An officer comes in your cell, beats the shit out of you, shoots you up with some fentanyl, then you kind of like wake up in an operating table and get shot up with more dope, die, take all your organs. That's what happens when you fuck up and give cowards and sadistic motherfuckers rule over your life. There is no consequences. There is no penalty. There's only money and cover-ups. And if they can get away with that in this day and age, imagine how long this has been going on. And who knows if they were alive or dead. I had a friend named Trent, solid dude, used to work out with him on the yard all the time. He had a heat stroke on the yard. We're in Florida, you know, nothing major, didn't use drugs or anything like that. And after reading and studying this whole situation, I think they took this man's organs. He drops down. He's obviously having a heat stroke, healthy dude, works out. He's got water, whatever. It's hot out there in the middle of summer. A CO runs out to check on him. Everybody hears on the walkie-talkie because they have us all kind of like down, and they say, don't touch him. You'll be responsible. The officer runs away from my dying friend on the yard. 20 minutes later, another officer comes out and uses like the defibrillator thing or whatever it is to try to bring him back, and nothing's working. She leaves. 10 more minutes go by. A nurse comes leisurely walking, picks him up with the COs, puts him in a wheelchair, folds him over, and they walk him out. And the thing is, his family didn't have much money, so it took a little time for them to get everything situated and get his body released. You know, I don't know the whole story behind that, but I know it took a little bit of time for them to figure it out. And during, you know, the whole time after, everyone was talking about it. You know, people made like a little like remembrance for him where he died on the yard. The CEO spread a rumor saying, oh, he overdosed on K2. Everyone's like, no way. The man was about to go home soon, about to get married, never used drugs. Like, I can vouch for that. They do whatever they want inside. That's it. You know, there's nowhere you can hide. There's nowhere you can run. When you're inside, only the strong survive. You're either a warrior or a victim. If it's not the inmates, the gangs, the politics, the extortions, the murders that get you, it's the COs that are going to get you. This is next level. Don't be surprised if thousands and thousands of people find out that their loved ones were put out in the sun after having their body parts surgically removed. Stay out, stay free. Us.